Hello and welcome to Soul Clinic with Chang. And I wanted to just do a quick video and go back to enjoy my beautiful Sunday here. Well, because it's a personal space, I can do wherever or whatever I want, and however my inspiration takes me. And I'm this channel is yet to take off, and I don't want to compromise what I want to do or what I like to do. As I shared many times on the channel, the intention has always been this is an experiment in me being spontaneous and showing up in front of the camera daily, and no pre-planning, no editing. And I've seen some other channels, pretty successful ones to my standards, and that I personally liked, which took the same format. And I thought I could do the same thing. Well, yet I feel like this journey, I'm a little less than halfway through my committed number of daily videos, which is 111 days straight. And because since I started this channel, it hasn't been I haven't been consistent because I couldn't find the flow that I could be in, that I enjoyed doing videos daily. Well, so this video is going to be personal and not of benefit, any immediate benefit to you. But anyways, the reason why I couldn't be consistent was because I was still showing up for some kind of additional ulterior benefit that I may get in the future. And a lot of it was geared towards what other people wanted or what I could do for other people. And those two could be a little different, but in the end, it had, I think, the same effect to me, because I was doing this more for others than myself, which has been the problem all along to me. So since I shared, I think yesterday, I am about to take a leap, but because it involves a financial component, I couldn't actually make the move that I was planning to make over the weekend. As I said, today's Sunday, so I would have to wait until tomorrow to actually make the move. And also because I'm alone at my home, my son and wife are visiting their in-laws, my in-laws. So I had a chance to just reflect and enjoy this calm before the storm, and take stock on my journey so far and all the different things that I did. And actually, one of the things I plan to share today, or I was still not sure if I will do that, is an expansion on the MBTI system model that I shared the day before yesterday. So, although I haven't touched upon that system for a while now, for years now, I realize my shadow work outside of that system can actually be interpreted or in through the lens of the MBTI system, I've actually made a lot of headway toward my shadow work, because it does talk about our shadow part. Anyways, so from the looks of things, because this is, it looks like I'm getting 1 subscriber per video, per video. I mean, that's the math that I'm getting so far. And of course, I'm not going to create 10,000 videos to get 10,000 subscribers. I have better things to do. Or my time and energy is better spent, because I'm a very practical guy. I want things to be practical. I want things to have a return on my investment. And so this move that I'm going to make, it's a business move, so I am going to engage in some in another a somewhat of a new direction in the business that I have started and trying to grow. And I'll be focusing on that for a while, and because it was an unplanned addition to my schedule. And that's why I was thinking about what I have been doing, what I have done, and what's on my plate currently. And for me, I have been very mindful. What's been important to me was fill my day up with tasks and things that are as enjoyable as possible. Is that grammatically right? As enjoyable as possible to me. Because, as I said earlier, doing things for future benefit, and that somehow is connected. I don't know, to me, doing things more for others than to me. Maybe it was because I was doing things for my future self, which is another than my present self, my now self. So being dedicated to my now self has been a very big theme for me for the last many years, like at least 5 years, I think, since I almost lost everything and everything crumbled. And I realized like it wasn't enjoyable while I was doing that, and even then it didn't work out. So I didn't see any point. And part of the reason why I have this picture of a phoenix as my background, I am in a process still of rising out of the ashes, building my life back up, brick by brick, block by block. And because I was so accustomed to driving me to do things for my future self almost at the expense of my present self, the balance has swung to the other extreme. Or, well, it's not a dualistic extreme, I mean, the more I take care of my now self, all of my future selves will be taken care of. So that's the paradox. Like, this is not a compromise between two extremes. It's just the way to go. One single way that only makes sense, and actually is practical, is profitable. Okay. So that involved that shift of focus, that rebalancing of what I choose to do on a moment-to-moment basis. Also involved the area of work. And I thought I just wanted to be lazy. And for a long time that maybe have been true, because I was so driven by myself and others to achieve, to produce, to be productive. And that, over the years and decades, sucked the life and joy out of me. It sucked me dry of the juice of life that I came here to experience. And now, part of the surprise that came to me yesterday was I've built my health, physical, mental, and emotional, all of those. I've built them back up enough that I can engage in doing something productive, doing productive work. And it came to me as a surprise. The actual task or the item, like the object of doing what I would be doing, right? The task, the actual task level, the specifics, the details, like day-to-day actions, looked a lot different than what I thought I would enjoy. And that was a surprise, but not much of a big surprise, because I've come to understand that there's a passage, and I'm paraphrasing. Like, this is not a direct quote, but in the book, it talks about this, and the book is A Course in Miracles. Some of you asked if one of the viewers asked if I read it, and I did, cover to cover. Even did the workbook religiously for a year, yes. And that was before everything crumbled down. And I was like, I thought I did the right thing. I did the homework. I did the spiritual homework, like by doing the Course in Miracles as it was prescribed. And then everything, I fell apart. So your spiritual breakthrough may not look like it may look very different than what you expect. But anyways, in the Course in Miracles, in A Course in Miracles, it says what God creates for you, the environment that the God, you can't make an environment for yourself where you could thrive. What's been prepared for you by the universe God is infinitely better than what you can think of for yourself. So I'm obviously paraphrasing, but that's how I interpreted it. That's how I understood it. Okay, and a lot of the problems that we experience, according to that passage, that portion of the book, is a massive book. Anyways, I took it to mean a lot of the human problems that we're experiencing is because we are trying to create an environment for ourselves where it's much better, it's infinitely better. It doesn't compare to what is already prepared for us. So, to make it simpler, I think it's in a word, the difference between artificial versus natural environment. Okay, artificial. So if we're talking about the collective human level, artificial by definition is human created. Natural is not man-made. So man-made versus natural, artificial, natural. Man-made versus God-made, if you will. So a man-made environment is an accurate description of our modern society. Like we created an environment, a human environment that does not exist in nature, and that is kind of separate and isolated from nature. Although we really can't be completely isolated from the nature, because everything we do, even the artificial environment, is built on the foundation of nature, right? Anyways, the concept of what I can make for myself is dismal compared to what God can and has already created for me to enjoy. That had a deep impact on me. And over the course of this my shadow work, which I think it spent almost 9 years, even before the collapse. And actually, if I count today as the end of the 9-year cycle, the collapse of my life came in the midpoint of the 9 years. So it was almost a climax or a turning point. So it helped me a lot in distinguishing between what I'm trying to make for myself. And what is already given to me or prepared for me, because what everything God created is already created. That is part of God's characteristic, omnipotence, omnipresence. God is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Anyways, and that also included my work. I'm here to work, but not in a traditional way. I'm here to do God's work. And God's work, like if we think of traditional religion, it may sound like not interesting. It may sound like big sacrifice. It may sound like you have to almost trade in your humanity to do God's work. I mean, you almost feel like you have to become a saint, predetermined, and fit into a predetermined shape, whatever that means. And I've come to realize that God's work is to follow the concept out of A Course in Miracles. God's work is infinitely better in so many ways than work you are trying to define for yourself. And so, even though my human logical mind is still can do some catch up to why this God's work that is being revealed to me that I didn't think of earlier, that I hadn't thought I would enjoy it before. I know just for the fact that this is revealed to me rather than I try to search for it myself. And also, it makes sense to my body, although it may not make sense to my mind. Just those two elements, I know this fits the description. So that's where I am. And although this video has been personal, I think it had some elements that will be beneficial to you if you take this and contemplate on this on your own around the subject and nature of work and what's man-made and God-made. Okay, thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.